Hello everyone! Today we'll be printing and painting a very fun miniature. What I've got here in front of me is a Gazer by MZ4250. He is more commonly known as the guy who has painstakingly modeled every single monster from the monster manual and all of the additional monsters from all the different supplement guides, and he's also very popular on Patreon, taking requests and live streaming his modeling process. I highly recommend you look him up. He makes amazing miniatures, as you can see by this little guy here. This is a Gazer. I printed him on my Ender 3 version 2 using eSun PLA+. I printed him using the Chep profile, which is more and more becoming my go-to profile. He's a tiny little creature, this Gazer. They are effectively grapefruit-sized beholders, I like to think of them as. And as such, being a beholder, being an otherworldly being, we get to have a lot of fun painting him. So you'll see by my very bright and vivid color palette here, we're going to be having a lot of fun. I've got a series of purples, including my purple wash, to paint his skin. And then I've got a few other colors, both a dark base and a brighter version, that I'm going to be using for each of his eyes. What I'm hoping to get there is a very nice, bright, vivid color in each of his eye stalks to show where the beams are coming from. So without too much more mucking around, let's dive straight in. Now, as much as I want to jump straight into the purple, I'm quickly going to put some Screamer Pink on my brush and just get right in there in his mouth. That way, when I paint the purple later, I don't have to worry about where I've gone over when painting inside his mouth there. I'll just try and get a little bit of his lips just in case, but there we go. With that done, now we can jump into the skin. I've given that Screamer Pink some time to dry, and now I'm moving on to Nagaroth Night. This is going to be the base that I'm going to use for the purple. I've decided to paint this Gazer purple because Gazers are actually born out of the dreams of beholders, and when that happens, the Gazer, although it is very small, resembles the beholder in terms of color and features. And since this Gazer here is going to serve the purpose of being born from the Xanathar, I'm making him a nice purple. I'll definitely will lighten him up as we go along, but this Nagaroth Night is going to be a nice base color for that. So I'm just going to go around now and make sure I pick out all of his skin in this color. I've applied all the purple, and now I've got a purple shade. This is Druchii Violet. I'm going to go around the whole mini and just give it an all-over purple shade. This will darken down the mouth and seep into all of those recesses, especially here by all of these little scaly bits. So now I'm just going to go around, apply this shade all over, and then give it plenty of time to dry, at least 45 minutes. I've given the wash plenty of time to dry, and now I'm going to switch over to Xereus Purple, but I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to dry brush this on. So this model's got a lot of great detail here with these, what are these, scales and these ridges. So I think a dry brush will bring that out quite nicely. And you can see there how it's lightening it up already. A bit more on my brush there. I'm just going to flick it back and forth and just bring out as much of that detail as possible. Whoops, slipping off there. I'm going to carry on and do this a couple of times, just going over, catching as much detail as I can, which will also brighten it up at the same time. I've built that color up with a few passes of the Xereus Purple, and I'm going to do the same with a light dry brush of Genestealer Purple, and this is a lot less. I'm just going to really do this in the front here, and it's okay that I'm getting on the eye. I'm going to paint the eye next. just to pick out that eyelid and that mouth, just on top of each of these stalks to make them stand out. Ooh, a little more there at the top, and just a little bit there, very gently on the back. Now we've got a nice build up of all the purples, and it's got a lot of detail. I'm now going to go ahead and paint all of the eyes. That's the 4 on the stalk and the one in the middle. I'm going to quickly run through. I'm using Screamer Pink, Jakeora Orange, Caledor Sky, Aveland Sunset, and Waaagh Flesh. I'm going to apply all of those just on the eyes, and I'll show you that in a second. The eyes are all coloured in, and now I'm going to just put a little bit of a highlight in the centre of each one. And I'm using here very, very vivid colours. I've got some Pink Horror, Fire Dragon Bright, Lothern Blue, Flash Gits Yellow, and Gauss Blaster Green. And when I say these are bright, let me just show you. This is Gauss Blaster Green here. Just a little bit in the center of the eye. And look how bright that is. That's, I'm not worrying about a wash. The dark color will be there, and then the light in the middle. And it's the same with all the other ones I've got on my palette here. So if I grab a little bit of Fire Dragon Bright and put that there, I'm looking for a very, very almost neon color in the center of each eye. And this is a lot of fun because a lot of these colors I wouldn't normally get to use, so I'm having a bit of fun with this model. But I'm going to go along now and just dab a little bit of these very bright colors in the center of each of the eye stalks, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And with that, this little gazer is looking great, super bright and colorful. I've quickly got a little bit of Rakarth Flesh and a little bit of Abaddon Black. I'm going to just pick out all his little toothies very gently with that. Not really a focal point, so I'm not worried too much about them looking perfect. And then I'm going to blacken his base, and he is done. And there we have it, one very angry looking grapefruit. This was The Gazer by I'll get it right eventually, MZ4250. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. Anything you want to see me paint next, or any suggestions on my printing techniques. Until next time, see you soon.